Hey, what's cracking everybody? Welcome back to Computer Games Hardware. Today on the channel, we are going to be breaking down my GPU, the XFX Radeon 6800 XT Merc, and giving it a little bit of a clean. It's been sitting in my system since about March, I want to say, so there is a bit of build up there, a bit dirty, and we're also changing the thermal pads on them. The last time I changed the thermal pads on this thing, I used thermal pads that were a bit too thick, so we are going to replace them because it's getting pretty hot here in Australia and I want to have that sweet contact with the heat spreaders. So we're going to replace those and run through the whole process. So stick around and let's get stuck into it. All right, so let's have a look at what we're working with here. So obviously I've got my GPU here that we are going to break down and clean. I've got some isopropyl alcohol, my precision screwdriver set, I've got my thermal pads, I've got 1mm and 1.5mm, I've got some thermal paste here. This is some MX6 thermal paste, and I've got some cleaning tools here. So everything you need right there. I should also note that this is something that you probably shouldn't have to do with your GPU. So don't panic if you're thinking, well, I've never cleaned out my GPU or broken it down before. General maintenance, you might want to pull it out and give it a good dust, you know, with a little tool every so often. But this is something you shouldn't have to do. It should, the thermal paste and the pads should last the life of your GPU. But I, you know, like breaking my stuff down and, you know, mucking around with my hardware as much as I like using it. So I like to get down and dirty and get it clean, and then we'll see how it performs after that. As I said, the GPU was performing fine. It's a little bit dusty and dirty, so I think we might see some performance gains, but my suspicion is right from the start that cleaning the GPU will give us the biggest performance boost here. The thermal pads might give us a 1 degree performance improvement or something like that. Anyway, we're going to do it anyway. Makes for good content, so let's get this thing broken down. But you can see that there is just plenty of dirt and grime in this GPU. So let's get this off. Let's start off with this side. It's fairly easy to do. I haven't done this for a while, so just bear with me and we'll go through it together. I'm using my Amazon precision screwdriver set. I bought a couple of these for around 15 bucks. I'm not sure if they're still available on Amazon, but there are certainly many similar products. So I will either link this one or link to something similar, and I'll link to all the products that I have in this video today in the description below. I should also say, guys, that I'm doing this video at twilight. It's daylight savings here in Australia, so it might get a little bit darker depending on the length of this video. So if the look of the video changes a little bit, that's why. It's just because the lighting conditions have changed. Let's break down our GPU. So the first thing you want to do here to get these pieces off is look for the screws between the blades. So I don't know if you can see that, but if you just move your fans there, you can see that they are being held down by two screws in each one. So we'll go ahead and take them off. And what I like to do, guys, is I just have a standard automotive magnetic tray, and I put my screw memory mat in there just so I've got a place to put my screws. So I will leave that there a little bit off camera, but that's how I do it. I like to keep things nice and manageable so I know where everything goes back. So let's kick off with our screws. I also should say, prior to starting filming, I did pull out the GPU and magnetize the screw head. So I don't lose any of my parts. GPU has served me really, really well. I bought it 2020, just as the pandemic hit, before the crisis hit. I got it for a really good price. Now, this thing is a ray tracing card. It doesn't perform that well, but I have been quite happily living without ray tracing, and just recently, with the introduction of FSR3 and frame generation, I've been actually happily able to use ray tracing medium, ray tracing low, and that's been fantastic for me. Okay, so we've got our fans off. So you flip it over and you can see there, this thing is dirty. Have a look at that. Look how dirty that is. You can see that is still connected. I'm going to flip this over. I'm just going to give this a little clean. Then I'm going to flip this over and take the base plate off, and then I will disconnect it. This thing is filthy. Oh boy. Don't go too hard here. Just nice and gentle. Just get most of the debris off. So I reckon even just by doing that little bit, we've probably gotten a couple of degrees of performance worth. It's even in the heat pipes and everything like that. So and I know what some of you are thinking. You probably haven't opened your GPU the entire time that you got it. It pays just to take it out every so often and give it a little clean. That is disgusting. And again, this is probably the last time I did this was probably March. I also do a big clean of my system when I'm periodically. So this is also with like a clean of my system with a blowout from the data vac and everything like that. This is still built up all from there as well. So now what we want to do to get the back plate off is we want to run through and we want to take these screws out. Okay. So dirty. And remember to always do these ones evenly to release the GPU, to make sure that they don't spring out. Okay. All right. So you can see how dirty that is. And I am really glad that we did that. So you can see that there is a big old spot right in the middle of the GPU there. So first thing we want to do is disconnect this cable here. And you can see that is dirty as. So the first thing I want to do is just clean that thermal paste off, and you can see that's why we need to change these thermal pads, because the thickness isn't letting the cooler mount onto the GPU there, and it's left a pretty hot spot there. So all right, let's get that off. Some isopropyl alcohol. Just clean it up a little bit first. So with good application of thermal paste as well, that will really help us get some cool temperatures. So it's been running between 65 and 70 degrees, even like this. So I am hoping that we can get it right down. So even when it looks clean, you can see that's the kind of stuff that's coming off it there. So this thing is really, really dirty. Okay. Just use this side to touch up a little bit. Don't go crazy with the isopropyl alcohol. Just put a few sprays into the cap of the bottle, and then just refill it as you need it. That should be good. It shouldn't affect these little capacitors and things here. Just make sure it looks nice and neat. All right. Okay, cool. Okay, so you can see that's quite a thick thermal pad there that I was using, so we're just going to drop those down, get rid of those. That should make better contact with the cool plate. We'll clean that off again too once we've got all the dust and the gunk and the shit off this. I usually do this every 2 months or so, but I've just been busy making videos for you guys, so instead of using metal, just get a plastic scraping tool, get all that gunk off. I am gonna go give these a blow with the data vac. I'll be right back. Alright everybody, we are back. Generally when I open up my GPU, I will open it up in the garage, give it a pretty good data vac, and bring it in so it looks like this. But I just wanted to demonstrate how dirty the GPU can actually get. So now we've given it a good data clean, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some photos now, just so I can post them up online. Alright, so while we've got these here, sorry, let's give these a really good clean. Just gear. So this is what I do. I just give it a good spray just into the container there, and then I have that on hand to use. Okay, so just go right in and around, and then each blade in and out. They get nice and clean, nice and beautiful. So regular maintenance of your GPU and your computer cards really go a long way to extending the life of your products. You can see how dirty that was. I'll probably never let it get that dirty ever again. Something really cathartic about maintenance time for your GPU. For me, generally it signifies the change in a season. So, you know, every couple of months I just like to tear down my stuff, give it a nice good clean. Sometimes it feels like it's a completely new product. The new thermal pads will go a long way to making sure that we don't get that spot, because there's better contact from the cold plate to the GPU. Hey, even if you just want to take your GPU out, give your system like a bit of a data vac. Now, don't take a normal vacuum cleaner and just go blow it away. And by the way, I should also mention, when you are data vacing these things, don't let the fans don't let them spin. Use the data vac and hold them while you dust it away, because when you do that, you can create voltage if you just let them spin too quickly, and that can be a bad time. That's how people damage their components and stuff like that. I wouldn't say it would happen often, but it's a possibility. So I just tend to hold them and just make sure everything is good to go. Do you guys like you know, playing with your hardware as that sounds wrong. That sounds wrong. I'll leave it in though. Do you guys like messing around with your gear as much as you like using it for gaming? Let me know in the comments down below. All right. That is looking really good to me. So, job done for the first part. This is going to make most of the difference, and repasting the GPU is going to make a ton of difference. All right, I'm just going to give my mounting plate a real nice I might just give it a spray there. Just give it a real good clean there. There you go, nice and clean. Can you guys see that? We've got a little damage fin there, so I'm just gonna run a flathead screwdriver through it. Maybe we just go with this one here. Maybe not use the one that had the old thermal paste on it. Idiot. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there you go. That straightened out pretty good, actually. Okay. You don't want to go too crazy on that. Just want to make it nice and straight. There you go. All right. Just get rid of these. It's the memory modules. Okay, junk there. Junk there. Okay, let's have a look at our memory modules. They seem to be doing okay. Should also let you know that there are thermal pads underneath here as well, but I'm not taking the frame off today. They are the original ones. I just want to replace the ones that I changed, so they should still be in pretty good nick. Alright guys, so basically we need to apply thermal pads, and we need to apply 1.5 mil thermal pads in this square here, and then 1 mil thermal pads here, and 1 mil thermal pads there. And what I think I might do is actually use the cooler to apply the thermal pads, because they give the right dimensions. So let's go with the 1.5 mil thermal pads first. SYY thermal pads 128. These are come with a 5-year warranty, and you can get them in all sorts of sizes from 0.5 to 3.5 mil. So that is my thermal pad here, and as you can see, there's there, there's there, and it goes there. So that should just be enough. All right, let's just mark where we need to pop them. A little bit shorter there, so that's gonna go there and there. And That one there looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Alright, now we need to do here and this side. Okay, for that we need our 1 mil thermal pads. Mark that with a pencil. Like that. And like that. We don't need that much this time. Do it. That's almost perfect for that. So I might just a little bit more than you need is not gonna kill you. Then I might not have done the most economical way, but hey, it's worked for today's application, so whatever. Then cool, and that gets those little memory modules there. Alright guys, so that's it. That's how it's going to look. We've got our 1.5 modules covering the memory there. Then we've got 1 mil on the out perimeter on each side there. Now all we have to do is reapply some thermal compound and make sure that that's sticking down. So I'm actually going to apply those onto the cooler here. So let's start doing that. Now that is perfect. So that is job done. Okay, now before we stick those down, let's do our GPU. Really good paste. Alright, this is our MX6 thermal compound. I don't know if you can see it there, 4 milligrams. This is really great thermal compound. It's made by Arctic. And I am going to put a ton of it. Okay. Alright, now we're going to spread our thermal compound, make sure that the entire GPU is covered. Oh yeah. Hopefully we will not be getting any hotspots from that. A nice application of thermal compound. Also, try not to compress your thermal pads too much. Let the pressure card do that. Okay. Are you ready to go? Let's do it. Just gonna move that here. Gently put that down. All right. So that's the fans reconnected and back on. Yeah. Time to okay. Even. Nice and tight for these ones. Perfect. Realized I'm not doing it upside down anymore, so there you go, guys. Sorry about that. All right. Let's get this finished off. All right, and that is job done. Well, there you have it, guys. Our GPU has been cleaned, the thermal pads have been changed, and we have repasted the GPU down. It's time for this thing to go back into the system so we can test the performance. Well, there you have it, guys. I'm pretty satisfied with the performance there. We've got the temperature nice and low. I'm wrapped with that. This thing's ready for summer, and it saves me from having to go out and buy another GPU. Anyway, how do you guys think I went? Let me know in the comments down below. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I had a really good time making this one. I hope you guys had a good time watching it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.